What is up, everybody? Happy New Year, happy 2021. Man, 2020 was one crazy year, wasn't it? It was one crazy year, but you know what's about to be crazier? Season 2 of AFAP Tutorials. It is Season 2, this is Episode 1. Today we're going to be talking about body shots. I can't even stress how important they are. When you couple them with kicks and head strikes and all kinds of other things, they can be extremely effective. Sometimes you can even finish people with body shots. So let's get down to it. Let's go. So the factors that come into mind first when I'm talking about body shots and what are the purposes behind body shots is, first, when a person has their guard up and you're throwing, let's say, a straight cross to the body, that can get them to raise their hands. And what does that do? That opens up other shots to the head. So that's factor one. Factor two is it can get them to throw off their breathing. Every time you throw a shot, a person tightens up, they tense up. It's just a natural human reaction. And so when they do that, it throws off their breathing. And over time, that can exhaust a person. No matter if you're an extremely fit person or a person who is out of shape, it's going to exhaust them eventually if you're getting them to hold their breath over and over again. And finally, it can finish a person. I've seen it many times. You hit a person in their solar plex, you hit a person in that liver and that kidney, that can instantly put a person down, and it can end the fight right there. So next we're gonna go over how to even throw these bad boys, right? Let's go. So there's two common types of, how can I put this, body shots that you typically see. You typically see the straights from the cross to the body, to the jab to the body, and you'll see the hooks to the body. Those are the most common and the most utilized when it comes to body shots. Some people use the shovel, they'll use to kind of like shovel a punch to the body, but we're not gonna go over that. We're gonna go over the two basics, the straight and the hook. So the first thing I like to think about is how we're using our weight and where we're positioning ourselves. So when we're throwing these body shots, typically, I like to lower my weight a bit. Now that adds extra power, and that also takes your head on it puts it on a different level. So you go from here to here, that can throw off timing. A lot of the times when it comes to fighting, I'd say all the time when it comes to fighting, it's about timing. And so if you can throw off a person's timing and you can add in headshots, and then go here, that completely throws off your level. It's a level change. With that level change, when you add in that level change, you don't want to be slouched over, because when you're slouched over, that leaves you susceptible to a lot of other shots, like uppercuts. In my very first boxing match, that was probably one of my biggest punches that I landed on my opponent. He ducked under and he leaned, and when he leaned, I was able to throw an uppercut, and it connected, and it was one of the hardest shots of the fight. And so you want to keep your chin protected by coming in with your feet lowered, okay? You want to come in with your feet. You don't want to lean forward, and that's with any punch, but especially body. When you're going in for those body shots, try not to lean forward, because if you try to get to your area with your face, trust me, your face is going to be the first thing to be touched. Notice how when I'm throwing this jab to the body, I kind of put my face on the center line, off the center line. Let me scoot back a little bit. So when I'm throwing this jab, I'm off the center line. It's all about taking your head off the center line, and I've explained that in Season 1. That center line is right down the middle. If you're taking your head off the center line, there are punches that usually come from that center line, and if you can take it off, you're avoiding a lot of shots. So let's say I'm throwing a jab, and then I want to throw a jab to the body. My head's coming from here, and I'm off to the side. Pop, pop, pop. Right there, you see? Boom, boom, boom. Complete head change. So let's say if I'm throwing that cross. Now the cross is a bit different. You want to kind of put that weight on that front foot, and now your head is off the center line again. Now you can throw that cross. Here, you see how everything is with the feet. I'm not leaning forward to get anywhere. Everything, when I want to lean this way, I'm putting weight on that leg. If I want to lean that way, I'm putting weight on that leg with a little bit of a step. So everything comes with the feet. Another key component is keeping your hands at a high guard when you're throwing, especially the body shots with the hooks. Think about it this way. You are about this close to a person when you're throwing hooks. Sometimes even closer. Sometimes your head is right into their chest. And you are throwing those body shots. Think about it. If your hands are not higher, you have a higher susceptibility of getting hit. So you need to be close, tight, snug, and your hands guarding your head so that you are throwing shots, and you have a little bit of more protection when you're in that close. You need to have a bit of a higher guard. So if you haven't noticed, a lot of these punches, well, let's put it this way, all of these punches, it's about weight distribution. So again, when we go back to those body shots for the hooks, you are distributing that weight. You see how I'm distributing the weight, it's in the hip, and then you torque that hip back, boom, and you're lowering yourself. And that gives you a lot of power as well. Not only does it change the pace of the fight, it changes the level of your head, but it also adds so much more power because you're giving yourself that ability to really torque those hips in, really torque the hips in. I hope I'm making sense with that. Alright, these next scenes, you're gonna see me throwing these shots, the straights and the hooks to the body, just so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like in kind of full speed. Alright? So as you can see, I never left myself vulnerable. I never allowed my chin or myself to be overexposed or to be off balance. Everything came from the chamber out and then back in, just like we're throwing those headshots. It's just about lowering that weight. Now the question is, when do we throw these body shots? I like to be deceptive with my body shots. I'm a huge fan of throwing my body shots as a lasting punch, as when a person is backing up, I can throw my body shot to kind of finish off, polish off my combo. But it can also be used in a whole bunch of different fashions. Let me show you. So a simple combo is something that I like to use on people. It's just a double jab and then a nice cross to the body. So what that does is a double jab, it kind of gets a person to think head. It makes a person think, okay, double shots to the head, and now they're not really thinking about their body. And so I like to polish it off with that cross to the body, because usually a person will they'll kind of back up off of it, or they'll kind of just stand there. Either way, you're going to get tagged by the body shot, or it's going to get you to be thinking because of the level changes, because of the double jab, and then I threw a cross to the body, and now you're thinking head, body, now you're thinking everywhere, just within 3 punches, you know? So jab, jab, cross to the body, you got the level change, and it can be used as a blinder. They may not even see the body shot coming. So let's say you're a kickboxer or a Muay Thai fighter. One of my favorite simple combos is a jab, cross to the body, and then head kick. Now, this takes a lot of dexterity and a lot of flexibility, but once you get this down, the level change and the ability to really throw your opponent off, it can be immense, because I even like to use, the jab, hook to the body, and then head kick. So watch the level change and how it can get a person to be, it really gets a person guessing, and that's a huge point when it comes to body shots, is getting a person to not really know where the next shot's gonna land. So jab, cross the body, that leg folds over. Say it again. Jab, cross the body, leg folds over. You see how it gets the jab here, across the body here, and that leg folds over, should go right over top to the temple. All right, so a little bit faster. All right, now a couple of the jab, hook to the body, then that leg comes right over top. All right, so boom, bop, pop. All right, so boom, bop, boom. One more time. Watch that level change. Boom. Here, level change, and you can almost fold that leg over before you can even come back here. So it adds a little more speed to the combo. Boom, boom, boom. All right, it's one of my favorite combos. Whew. Right, so the overview of these body shots: be deceptive. You don't want to be caught being predictable throwing body shots. You want to always keep your opponent guessing. That's why you always want to go head, body, body, head, head, body, head. You always want to be switching it up, changing your level. Keep your opponent guessing. Keep them holding their breath, clenching. This can really disrupt the fighter you're going against. Remember, you are getting to your opponent with your feet. If you are meeting your opponent first with your face, then that is going to be the first thing that gets touched, is your face. So remember, get there with your feet. Be snappy, be fast. Again, be deceptive, and keep your opponent guessing. That will be all of episode 1, season 2, you guys. And I'm proud of myself. This is episode 10. You know, congratulations to AFAP. This is a big deal. You know, we're heading into this new year, season 2. You know, I plan on having a whole bunch of tutorials for you guys in the future. And yeah, thank you for your support, your constant, continuous support. Trust me, I appreciate it 100%. You guys have no idea. Every view, every like, every comment, I really pay attention to those things. You know, it really helps not only my channel, but it helps me. You know, it lets me know that you guys are watching. And sometimes that's all a person needs to know, is that, hey, I'm being watched. My work is being watched. And you guys always remind me of that. And so I don't know what else to say. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, thank you guys. And I'll catch you next time on the next AFAP tutorial. Peace. Real stiff on some of the head kicks today. Let's work that out a little bit as we're going on the outro. Now, come on now. You see me? You see me? Come on now. Come on now. Whew. Feeling stiff. You know, it's been a little bit since I've thrown some head kicks, so bear with me. I'm gonna go do some back stretches.